Okay, some massive things are happening in crypto right now. And even though the Bitcoin spot ETFs have not gotten approved just quite yet, the news with regards to these ETFs, it's crazy, guys. It literally is crazy. So one of the things that's just going completely trending right now is all these refilings are what they're called. So it just states right here, NASDAQ just filed an update for the Valkyrie Bitcoin ETF 19B4 filing. And just before that, we had one specifically like this for Blackrock. And I think just all 12 of these guys will be refiling it. And apparently Bloomberg is calling this a very big deal. Not sure exactly why, but that's basically what's going on. What's the most trending right now? It's getting hundreds of thousands of views as we speak. So I did want to quickly give an update on it. But if it was only for that, you guys know I wouldn't pick up my phone. I wouldn't pick up a camera. Nah. It's for two other interesting things. One is, apparently, the SEC has no additional feedback after the latest spot Bitcoin ETF amendments, Bloomberg reports. That is big. And I'll tell you right now, the next thing is the biggest one. And I don't think we'll be seeing any Bitcoin spot ETF during the weekend. It wouldn't really make sense, to be completely honest with you. Usually, I think it would just flow Monday. But all of a sudden, just before the weekend's coming in hot, we're seeing many different things being put up. Like I just said, I think the biggest thing right now is that Bitcoin ETF applicants clear hurdle on path to SEC sign-off, Bloomberg reports. And Bloomberg is just freaking, they're going wild here for some reason, really quite recently. Anyway, that one thing which I was referring to is right here. You can't see it, but I'll read it out loud for you. Sources tell 𝗓𝗂𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗑 that BlackRock has more than $2 billion lined up in week one in the new incremental flows from existing Bitcoin holders who are adding to positions. Oh, that is pretty big. That is pretty big. So Tim Copeland, even from the Black News, said 𝗓𝗂𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗑 just said he's heard from a well-placed source. And in the crypto space, a well-placed source is kind of iffy. Apparently, they did a whole spaces about it a couple hours ago, but I didn't tune in. But that could be pretty huge. If we get $2 billion worth of dollars in the first week of already excited people who are just mostly adding to their positions, you guys can understand just how much money or just how much pressure that is. As we've stated before, in the crypto space, it is not so that a $2 billion injection only increases the market cap by $2 billion. No, I think an increase of $2 billion could increase the market cap by at least 20. I'm not sure what the multiplier is, but generally speaking, if all those guys were to want some Bitcoin, the market cap were to go up a lot more because the price were to move up a lot more than I guess, just 2 billion in market cap. That's a story for a different day. But things are moving really interestingly because the Bitcoin price actually, again, it's not easy that I'm doing this the opposite way, but the Bitcoin price actually has only been moving down here for the last day or so, and it's actually still quite down. But the news in terms of positivity is at one of the highest points ever. So I honestly believe this is the last weekend we've got without Bitcoin spot ETFs. You might debate on just how bullish it is, but I'm telling you right now, I think it's going to be wild at the moment that it does get approved. Even if the short term is not that crazy. I described it over on our Dusty Trade channel. I think it was this, I'll just quickly get back to the post here. I think it was this post right here from Caitlin Cook. And it basically states that a lot of people are underestimating just how huge Bitcoin spot ETFs really will be. And a lot of the money that's flowing in, right, will not flow in day one, but over time. And her own words were kind of along the lines of the registered investment advisory industry. To be clear, this does not even include asset managed by massive broker-dealer firms or a lion's share of the asset managed by hybrid BD and IRA firms across the country. Grew by 2.1% in 2022, with 15,000 fiduciary investment advisors managing $114 trillion in assets for 62 million clients. Now imagine if even a fraction of a percentage of those assets go into these spot crypto ETFs, a product that fits within the confines of their current framework. Let me be clear, it won't happen all at once, and they won't ape all of their assets into, nor should they, or anyone for that matter, but it will undeniably open the floodgates to a huge new opportunity set or assets and participants. And it's just, I want you guys to understand, floodgates are opening. If you're not excited yet, get excited. Even though we might see a buy the rumor, sell the news type of event, it's honestly possible, of course. But get more excited because things are moving really, really fast. And it could be the last few days without these Bitcoin spot ETFs. The deadline is, of course, January 10th, as you all know. So look out for that date. Don't sleep too much or you might miss it. And over the next few hours, I'm expecting just more and more of these amendment files to come up, as I believe all ETF providers will file it. But yeah, that's just about it. That's the most important part. Just wanted to quickly give an update on everything that's going on. And I think it's huge. $2 billion from Blackrock only. It's only them saying this, right? As far as I'm concerned, it's only them saying it. So that means $2 billion is like a low estimate, basically. At least that's my own thoughts on the matter. I think if BlackRock puts it at 2 billion, these other guys also probably got some juicy numbers. Just to read it again, BlackRock has more than $2 billion lined up in week 1 in new incremental flows from existing Bitcoin holders who are adding to positions. So, yeah, I mean, this does not mean $2 billion is going to flow into Bitcoin straight away, by the way. You know, it's the wording there. But I'm just saying, ooh, this lighting just went out. A little bit more yellow now, unfortunately. I want to say, I do believe, though, that this amount of money shows just how much money is on the sidelines geared towards Bitcoin in the short term. Even though the $2 billion lined up in 1 week or week 1 does not mean it will all flow necessarily. It's huge. It's huge.